You're listening to Counterclockwise, where we decide the best of unimportant categories. How are you today, sir, my co-host across the table from me? Across. I just said across with a T. Sorry, this is your time to talk.
The co-host with the most.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay. It's been a kind of a tough week for us, but I do have a bone to pick. Not with you.
Oh.
Not with you, but
okay. Just a general bone.
I have a bone to pick with a certain demographic.
Oh, okay.
We deal with it a lot.
Mm.
The reply all people. You know what thread I'm talking about. It happened at work like a couple weeks ago, and it's been in my mind for a while.
Yeah.
And what was it? Our software was down or something?
Yeah, like the internet wasn't working or something.
Somebody from another location just emailed all the stores asking if everybody was out. And what a normal person would do would be to reply to that person that sent the email saying, yes, same. Mm-hmm. Instead, I think we got, 11 different emails,
at
reply
least.
alls, that just said same,
Yep.
same
here.
Same here. No internet here. You have to go out of your way to hit reply all.
Yeah.
That's what bugs me. It's like you have to purposely go past reply
to
reply all.
Yeah.
And maybe it
doesn't help anybody.
No.
What an intelligent person could do. You get maybe two response. Like we needed maybe two responses.
Right.
That's the limit. Once you get two responses to that email, okay, it's company-wide. It's not just going to be 3 random isolated locations have this problem. That's not how things work.
Right.
The internet's down. It happened at more than one place. It's probably company-wide, or at least widespread enough that it hit 2 places.
Yeah.
We should just put an IT request in, and then they can figure it out. And then maybe if they have questions, they can ask. We're not solving anything by having to hear the frickin' thing dinging every 34 seconds because somebody read the email and replied with 4 letters that did nothing for anybody.
I guess the only good thing that comes out of it is me and you have our own little sidebar when it happens.
Our side chat, yeah.
And we're just making fun of everybody that just reply all, just saying same. I wonder if everybody is feeling the same way or has the same issue because I wouldn't know because...
Yeah.
Well,
12 of the locations didn't reply. I bet they're probably fine. They probably have perfect, flawless internet right now because, they didn't reply, so obviously it doesn't apply to them.
Frustrating.
And that happens pretty much every time there's an issue like that or something that happens like that. Or somebody asks one simple question that doesn't require a response from everybody. Or doesn't require anybody else to know the answer. That's the other thing. It's like nobody else needed this information.
My favorite is when I send out an email to all the locations and I don't get a reply.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay. I feel like maybe the reply all people are bitching.
They have their own little coalition.
Yeah.
It's like all these people that never reply all.
You think you're too good to reply all? Like, just whatever. It's just...
So I'm not going to help him. He didn't reply all. So he wasn't the 12th response.
I didn't know if his internet was out.
He could have been the 13th identical response to my email 3 months ago.
Yeah.
But he chose not to, so I will not help him in this matter.
Right.
On principle.
Anyways.
Anyway.
That was my vent session for the night.
Yeah. You need one of those once in a while.
Yeah.
Especially about that stuff. It's so annoying. Anyway, I'm Tyler Wise. The needle-nosed Ned across the table from me is my favorite brother, Brandon Wise. And up next, good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world, and you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind. That word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom. not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting... Fuck! We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, "We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Independence Day." And this is the part where you cheer. Movies named after holidays coming up in about 23 seconds.
Navigation. 3. Silence number 2. He was number 1.
Simon's been a real baby lately. He's always worried about the cat attacking him, which is fair because the cat attacks him all the time.
That's just a perfect visual. I don't know why.
Normally, if he's feeling okay, usually during the day, because the lights are on and he can see, like he'll sit at the foot of the bed, fine, out of the way. Occasionally he gets needy and will climb up, but like normally he just stays down there. He's got his little blankie, and he has a little bone that he chews on when he gets stressed out.
Yeah.
But at nighttime, when it's time to go to bed, he gets worried because the cat's like nocturnal, so he gets all amped up at nighttime. So he just starts like screaming, and he's just like running around, and he'll hide like under the very front of the bed. And I have the steps that the dogs can climb, and sometimes he'll hide under the steps. You know how fast cats are when they attack. He'll be under there, and then he'll go and climb up the bed and attack. And he usually is like screaming at the same time. And then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the dogs are yelling at him. And you know how loud Simon's bark can be, like when he's scared of something or like trying to be aggressive. He'll unleash one of those, and it's terrible in the middle of the night.
I'm sure.
Just like, woof, oh my God, what's happening? And then I'm yelling because I'm pissed off because I just got woken up out of a dead sleep. So anyway, Simon's afraid of that happening.
Sure.
So like when it's time to go to bed, we're like settling in. I'll turn the light off. He has to like climb up, and he'll just lay in between us. But there's no room between us.
Sure.
There's like a Simon-sized spot, but he'll have to lay exactly perfectly like vertical, like a hot dog in a bun.
Yeah.
And that's it. He won't be able to move. That's how much space is there. But he doesn't understand that that's as much space as there is, and that he can't move, and that he'll be uncomfortable if he stays there. He just is there. And then I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go to sleep. It's like as soon as I'm out, and he knows he won't get yelled at for it, then he like turns sideways. It's like, you don't fit here. He used to try to do that while we were still awake. And then I think he got wise to it. He figured out that, well, if I just wait long enough, they won't care. Or he would like try to curl up, and I'm like, there's no room. Like, I'm hanging off the bed to make room for your ass. Or he'll like try to lay on his side, and then he sticks his feet out. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not how this works.
Oh man, poor dude's got PTSD.
Yeah. So last couple days, I've been like, I'll just like scoop him up and just like roll over with him. And then that way I can like scooch up against D. But like he's still uncomfortable, and he doesn't feel as safe because he's on the outside of the bed. He still thinks he's going to get attacked, but I'm like close enough to him that I think it's like kind of okay. Yeah. So he's really conflicted, and you can tell. So he'll just like, I usually try to lay him down, but he's uncomfortable. And then he'll try to like get over to the other side. I'm like, no, you got to stay here, bud. And I keep telling him that. I keep petting him, trying to calm him down. But then he'll like sit. He's sitting up, but then he's like as close to my head as possible. So like my head's here, and he's like over top of my head. Like, what? Just lay down, you dummy.
Poor Slim.
I've tried to like get him under the blanket. Like maybe that'll make him more comfortable. I think he gets too hot under there. So he's got to be like smack in between us. That's it. I got to have a whole human being over here and a whole human being over here, and then I might be okay. But He's been real extra lately.
Poor dude.
Yeah, I know. And then he'll stare at him. The cat will stare at him. He'll like stare daggers at him.
Oh, God.
Just intimidating him.
Slim's got a bully, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
he
I
really
know.
does.
And I'll yell at the cat. I'll throw shit at him. It's just like, get out of here. Just quit staring. You're just being an asshole for no reason.
Slim's just got to, like, play ignorant to it and just, like, pretend not to see him. And then when the cat comes at him, then he goes at him.
Yeah.
Like, as the cat's coming at him.
Yeah. Sometimes I know it's coming. And so I'll like jump in there in the way, and I'll swat the cat out of the way because I can see it coming.
Yeah.
Because they usually kind of build to it. Like he'll kind of like lean forward, like, you know, he's basically like a wild cat. And I can tell when he's like about to move. And then Simon will kind of like, he'll kind of be gearing up to it too. He's like waiting for it to, like, and I can see when it's about to hit the climax. And yeah, I'll just like reach in and just, nope. Right as the cat's about to jump.
You got your own ultimate showdown going on.
I know,
house.
really.
Like,
it's
crazy.
terrible. God.
Oh, Slim. So you know they say things happen for a reason, right?
Yep.
And I think what I have to say, what you just said with the whole Independence Day speech, kind of ties in. I think it might be a stretch, but I feel like it's kind of a little segue. I would be remiss if we didn't.
Is this about Martina McBride?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Quite literally no.
Let freedom ring. No, go ahead.
No.
Sorry.
But I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that, unfortunately, Ty and I, we lost our grandfather last week.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I made a Martina McBride joke.
It's okay. You know what? She's a country singer. He liked country. It's all good.
Yeah, there we go.
We lost our grandfather last week, and, you know, he was a good man. I'm still not sure I'm dealing with it very well, but that's okay. I feel like I want to honor him, and obviously he was in the military, so the whole Independence Day kind of ties in. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of a stretch.
Gotcha.
But
yeah.
no, I mean, growing up, we had a lot of good memories of him, and he's going to be sorely missed. He was a good man. I don't believe me or you would be who we are without him, and I just want to dedicate this episode to him, to our grandfather. And nothing says our grandfather quite like movies with the name of holidays in them.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not even sure our grandfather knows what podcasting is.
Yeah.
But that's okay. He supports us in anything we do. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to raise my glass of water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, should I? I'll raise my tea mug here.
This is to our grandfather. This is for him today.
To Grandpa.
To Grandpa.
I wasn't prepared. You really caught me off guard with that one. I didn't have any words to say.
That's okay.
But, yeah, I agree. Yeah, again, maybe not the most appropriate topic for that situation, but whatever. It's the next episode after it happens.
Yeah,
so
I
it makes
just
sense.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wait.
Don't want to wait.
Yeah.
Let's pick an appropriate topic. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine.
I still feel like you would appreciate this no matter what.
Yeah,
It doesn't
any
matter.
kind of shout out's good. We get a lot of our humor, I think, from that side of the family. So yeah, I think it makes
him.
sense. Yeah.
He had quite a bit of one-liners that I
Yeah.
never knew existed.
I was trying to think, everybody was sharing stories, obviously, as you do. At the actual service, they asked for any fun stories or stories about our grandpa that anybody wanted to share. And I was like, yeah, I got some funny stories. And literally everything that came to mind was just like a one-liner that he said one time.
Exactly.
It's like, it's just a Rolodex in my brain of just funny, like 5-word sentences he said to like make fun of somebody or make fun of himself usually.
Yeah.
You know, calling himself old or something.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all I can think of in my head. Or just like a look he would give me that I just think is hilarious now that when I think back on it. Like if we were fishing or something and I was doing better than him, he would just like side-eye me.
One of my favorite stories is when my first job. Obviously, we worked with our grandpa, and
Obviously,
Oh yeah. Well, I guess they wouldn't know, but you knew.
Obviously,
I'm
me.
direct. Yeah. So my first job was working with him, and one of our first jobs we went on, I think we were building a wheelchair ramp, and the infamous story is our boss telling me to go grab a board stretcher.
Yeah.
Well,
You had a board that was like half an inch too short
Yeah.
or something. You cut it too short or whatever.
yeah, and naive, ignorant me thought that was a
Is
thing.
your first job? What were you like 16 or
Yeah,
something?
so he sent me to the barn to go look for this quote-unquote board stretcher. I think I was in that barn for 10, 15 minutes and couldn't find it. And I come out like all stressed. I'm like, I looked everywhere. I can't find it. Our boss was just laughing. And the look of disappointment our grandfather gave me, I was like, oh, no. They're totally fucking with me.
Yeah.
And
That's
man.
the worst feeling when that realization sets in.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
My favorite one-liner for him is slipperier than snot on a doorknob. I don't know why that is so funny to me.
Slicker than snot.
Slicker.
On the
Okay. Slicker than snot on a doorknob. I don't know why that is so funny to me every time I hear it.
Yeah.
But
I think he's the only person I've ever heard use this phrase, but dumber than a hay rake.
yeah.
But it's not dumber than it's dumber than a hay rake. I don't think I've ever heard anybody else ever use that phrase. It's usually like dumber than a box of rocks or something.
Yeah.
A hay rake. Okay. Not sure how dumb that is, but I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we got a job to do here, and it's this completely unrelated thing called movies named after holidays. So here we go. We're just gonna dive right into this one. So to clarify, movies named after holidays, in our mind, what that means is it's the full title of the movie is the holiday, and that's it.
Not
No
part of the movie.
extraneous
Yeah.
words, no part of it. Yeah. So like A Christmas Story has Christmas in it, but it's got those other words, so that doesn't count. Or like you get the idea.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. So it's just extra words in there. So it's got to be just the holiday itself is the full title, and that's it. So yeah, that's basically all we got.
More than I thought, but also not very many.
Yeah, of the like good candidates,
Yeah.
pretty few.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're gonna have like 4 in common, and then we're just gonna be spending the rest of the episode duking out number 5.
Yeah.
When I first thought of this, I thought, well, maybe we should just do 3 to make it hard, and then I thought 4, and like, well, no, 4 would be easy because we'd be done already. But anyway, you want to roll into it?
Yeah.
Roll into our nominees.
I guess I'll just list the obvious ones that we're most likely going to duplicate.
Yeah.
Got Groundhog Day.
Yep.
Independence Day.
Yep.
The horror movie Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
OG Halloween.
Yep.
The 2018 Halloween.
Yep.
And then these other 3, I kind of picked the ones that I would probably watch. And
Yeah, a lot of these I haven't seen.
And okay, so next one would be from 1986, April Fool's Day.
Is that a horror movie? Thriller horror. Yeah, I have it written. I found that one too.
There's Labor Day from 2013, and then I have these joint together because it's basically an original and then a remake, and it's a horror movie. It's called Mother's Day.
Yeah.
The 1980 original and then the remake in 2010. So those are mine.
So I limited myself to 6. I had both Halloweens, or the 78 and 2018 Halloween, Groundhog Day, Independence Day, Thanksgiving. The only other one I had on here was Decoration Day.
Is that a holiday?
It's the old name for Memorial Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what it was called originally, and then they
gotcha.
changed it. Yeah, so it was a TV movie with James Garner and Bill Cobbs and Lawrence Fishburne in it. But yeah, it won like 2 Golden Globes. I don't really know anything about it, but it seemed fairly decent. So I just wanted to throw that one in there. I think I like stumbled upon that. I don't even know how I found that. But anyway, so yeah, about the only other one I would mention, and it's not even that good. And it's kind of funny because I have 3, that would make 3 Halloweens, but I thought about the Rob Zombie 2007 Halloween, even though it's kind of terrible.
Yeah.
But compared to some of these other ones, maybe not. There is a whole lot of stinkers on this list. My goodness.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Not to spoil it, but a lot of single-digit Rotten Tomatoes ratings coming at you in the honorable mentions portion of the program here. But anyway, anything else you want to throw in or add before we break?
No.
Alrighty. We will be back in a couple of seconds with some honorable mentions. Alrighty, we are back, and we got a whole lot of stinkers. We got a whole lot of stinky, smelly honorable mentions.
Yeah, I mean, very top heavy.
Yeah,
and then once you get off the first tier, it's just Poop Island.
It's a very steep cliff.
Yeah. Most of these movies I wouldn't watch, but if I were given a choice that I had to, that's what I was basing my decision off of.
Yeah.
And this was tough, but I think our first and obvious no doubter is going to be original.
Honorable mentions.
How am I still this bad at this?
Especially since I said honorable mentions.
We're almost a year into this, and I'm still this bad. Okay.
Is this our 13th All-Timers Club? Yeah.
Jeez.
Lucky number 13.
Man. I don't know. Every episode, I mess something up. Anyways, my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
There's a movie made in 2008 called Columbus Day.
Okay, yeah. The crime thriller.
Right.
Val Kilmer and Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah. What a duo, man. What a duo.
Yeah. That's probably a good one. And that was
Iceman and Fez.
Yeah.
The buddy cop movie you didn't know you needed.
I don't even think it's not a buddy cop. It's just like a straight up crime thriller movie. But it's just like, how is this guy? I don't know. It's a very and that was like toward the end of Val Kilmer's career, like his actual movie making career. So I don't know. He probably wasn't in great shape.
I saw that there were two movies called Ash Wednesday.
Yeah. Very different movies.
Very, very different. But the one I picked was the one from 1973, where it's like this woman travels to France to get
Elizabeth Taylor.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't look at the actors, but
yeah,
she travels to France to get plastic surgery to save her marriage, and shit goes wrong or whatever.
A whole 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, not great.
Which is surprising that anything Liz Taylor made was that bad. But the other one with it's got Ed Burns and Elijah Wood in it. I think that one's a little better. Yeah, still not good, but.
You know, I like Elijah Wood, don't get me wrong, but like any movie where I'm supposed to like take him seriously, it's like, no,
especially,
bro.
I think in that movie he's supposed to be like a hardened criminal.
Right.
He's like a guy that got out of prison or something. Like Elijah Wood, that guy.
Like if I see that guy doing pull-ups in the street or something, I'm just gonna like push him over. Like just move. Get out of my way, please.
Yeah. Oh man.
I have 3 rom-coms on my honorable mention list.
Yeah, they were part of a trilogy almost.
Yeah,
the Love Actually formula.
Yeah,
really trying to recreate that one.
I'll go in chronology.
You can't because they were all terrible.
Right, but they were all star-studded.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It's like we're just gonna blow the entire budget getting all of these people to film like an eighth of a movie.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll go in chronological order. You got Valentine's Day from 2010.
Yep.
New Year's Eve in 2011, and then Mother's Day in 2016.
And if you add up all of those 3 together, they have a combined 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
And then my next one, I feel like even though the score wasn't great.
Real quick, sorry. When I was writing all those down and I added all the Rotten Tomatoes scores in there, I wanted to make sure I knew. So I have a note next to them that says, yes, that's a 7. 7%. Want to make sure I didn't miss a number.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. So the next one, I feel like I would watch this movie because I like these 2 actors and they're both fucking funny as hell. But it was Father's Day.
Yeah.
And
that was another. I saw that. I'm like, how is this movie not incredible?
Bill Murray and Robin Williams. Like, that sounds amazing.
It's Billy Crystal, isn't it?
Oh, Billy Crystal. Yeah.
And Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Right.
And it's directed by Ivan Reitman.
Right.
Like, how is this movie not great?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it, but I mean, it's got to be at least somewhat funny with those two guys in it.
And then my last one is the 2007 Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah.
Only because I didn't want to put 3 Halloweens in my nominee list, and that was that. Even though I like that one a lot, it's the worst of the 3.
Yeah,
and that says more about the other 2 than it does that one.
Yeah. It's not great, but it's it's fine. Definitely good as like a reimagining, but it was right up there with the other slashers from that era. When it was a different era. We had completely moved on from the slasher. Oh yeah, kind of subgenre, and now
that was right in the middle of
Rob Zombie.
Yeah, that
was like the torture porn.
I was just gonna say that was right in the middle of torture porn.
Yeah, so let's do Halloween, except make him like incredibly violent, and also he's gonna be played by like a professional wrestler instead of just like a 6 foot tall like normal dude. He's gonna be played by like Andre the Giant. Yeah. Anyway, so. I had Labor Day, one of your nominees. I had that as an honorable mention. Christmas Eve, which seemed like it was kind of like a.
Which one?
Sorry, yeah, it was the one from 2015. Yeah. With Patrick Stewart and John Heder. It sounded like it was almost like it was like kind of playing fun at the Love Actually model, but it's not really. It's not like a romantic comedy as much.
It's like a thriller, right? They're all trapped on an elevator or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like kind of a thriller, but it's mostly a comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
And I feel like that they were just kind of like playing fun because it's like a bunch of people and their different stories and stuff. But it all takes place on Christmas Eve. And
you imagine watching a movie starring Patrick Stewart and John Heder.
No, I can't. That seems impossible.
You imagine being trapped on an elevator with Captain Picard and Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And I know that was probably the point of the movie, but...
I mean, yeah, probably. I'm going to run through these kind of quick because most of these... I'd never even heard of until I did this list. There's 2 different All Saints Days. Yeah. There's an All Saints Day. I didn't even get a year. That's how obscure it was. But it was starring Don Swayze, who I didn't know existed. I assume that's Patrick's brother because he looks a lot like him. So I'm assuming they're brothers. Never heard of that guy before. Then there was another All Saints Day from 2000, directed by Thomas Lasorda. Not to be confused with Tommy Lasorda, the Hall of Fame Dodgers manager. I just saw that name and I'm like, what? He has to go by an initial. He's Thomas J. Lasorda, just so people don't confuse him. Like, yeah, no, that guy didn't. He didn't make this one. Then there was a Memorial Day from 2012 starring James Cromwell, which that guy's a great actor. I'd never heard of this movie though. And then, you mentioned Columbus Day. There was a New Year's Day from 1989 with David Duchovny.
Yeah, that was on my chopping block.
Yeah. There's a St. Patrick's Day. I liked this one because this is from 1997. There were like 4 St. Patrick's Days. All of them, none of them were memorable at all. But I liked the description of this one. It's just an Irish family has a reunion near St. Patrick's Day, and all of the expected drama ensues. That was the summary.
That just sounds like an Irish version of a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah. Tyler O'Perry's St. Patrick's Day. Come on. There's a movie called Summer Solstice and from 1981 starring Henry Fonda. There's a Cinco de Mayo from 2011. It's like a really like micro budget slasher movie. I think it was Mexican maybe. Which would make sense. Sure. Cinco de Mayo. But it looked like it was filmed on the old camcorder that our aunt would use to film Christmas gifts. Yeah. It looked like it was filmed on that kind of a thing, but like
and stick it,
but like not like a found footage kind of thing.
Yeah,
like they were trying, and Yeah, that's what it looked
I
like.
always love when they would shove that thing 2 inches from your face too. Like, why are you so
Say
close?
hi. There's no zoom on this thing. I gotta get close. and then you watch the tape later, and all you see is nose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was another Independence Day from 1983, which actually didn't seem like it was all that bad, but I'd never heard of it, so it didn't make the list. But it had, it's not starring these people, they're supporting characters, but it's got Diane Wiest and David Keith. You know who that is? You do.
Yeah. Is he? Was he in Community? No.
No, that's Keith David.
Yeah. Damn it.
That's funny. That's who I thought of at first. I saw David Keith, like, wait, I know that guy. And oh no, is Keith David. But David Keith played Jack Parkman in Major League 2.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. But what's funny is that his character in this Independence Day movie is Jack Parker.
Oh, come on.
But that's in 83. Major League 2 was 91 or something.
Right.
So I'm wondering, did they name him Jack Parkman like as a nod to this movie, as like a mocking him? Yeah.
He was once in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Was he really?
Yeah. Obviously, he was a bad guy in that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that guy can be anything but an asshole.
No, he's got the face of a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, this guy's gonna be a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's all I had. A whole lot of not great in that
it's
list.
So bad. So many bad.
But anyway, let's get to the good stuff here.
When we picked this topic, you specified the rules for it,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that sounds fun. And I'm researching. I'm like, this kind of sucks because these are so bad. How am I supposed to choose between these terrible movies?
Yeah, yeah. That's why I thought it would kind of be
no,
fun.
no, it is.
Well, at first I thought it was like, well, let's make it like a nice tight. We'll make it like a 3 or a 3 inductee, I guess, category. But then I had 4, and I'm like, man, I can't leave out one of these 4.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, we might as well just make it 5 because we're probably going to agree on the 4 because there's literally like nothing else that's even close to those 4. But we'll have fun with it. So our nominees, just to review, between the two of us, we have April Fool's Day from 1986. It was like a thriller horror kind of thing. Decoration Day, the TV movie from 1990. Groundhog Day, of course. Halloween, I nominated the 07 Halloween, the Rob Zombie. The OG Halloween 1978, the reboot sequel thingy from 2018 Halloween. Independence Day, Labor Day, the drama. And then the tag team of Mother's Day 1980 and Mother's Day 2010, the remake. And then the Thanksgiving slasher from a couple of years ago, 2023, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the nominees.
With McDreamy.
Yeah. It's so weird that he's in that movie.
Yeah. Spoiler. So weird seeing him as the killer, man.
I know. Oh yeah. That's a big spoiler for that movie. They kind of telegraph it about halfway through, but
you think so? Yeah, I guess they do. I mean,
not way early, because they reveal it pretty early. It's not like way at the end. They reveal that he's the guy maybe 2/3 of the way through. So it's like fairly early for like a big twist.
Yeah.
But they do reveal it kind of early. And I think they telegraph it like shortly before. So it's not like a big thing.
I guess I'm trying to think of the scene you're talking about because I don't.
I can't remember exactly. I've only seen it the one time. It might be like 2 scenes before. Like one of them says a line. Like I think he might say a line or something that tips it off or something.
Oh.
I can't remember what it is. But again, it's only like maybe like 2 scenes before the actual reveal where they show his face and everything. Oh, cool. Just reached to pet the dog and then punched my microphone. That's cool. That's how we do things.
That's a big pop.
Professionals. Yeah. Yeah, I like hit it right on I kind of like matched the angle of the microphone so it resisted. Anyway, so I've already taken the liberty of marking the OG Halloween as a no doubter.
For sure. Yeah,
we're not even going to argue that one. We're not I don't even want to talk about it because it will take too long. If I get going talking about that movie, I will just be here for an hour. I talk about that movie all the time. Here I am talking about it. I realized recently that I think that might be my favorite movie right now. You know how favorite movies kind of change?
Yeah.
Like lifetime favorite movie, I don't know. It's probably like Back to the Future or like Shawshank or something.
Right.
I don't know. But like of the past couple of years, I think it's Halloween because I'm thinking about it all the time. I watch stuff about it. I listen to podcasts about it.
You wouldn't have maybe half of the current horror pop culture icons that we do if it wasn't for Halloween. I don't think.
Yeah.
A lot of them copied.
A lot of them borrow that.
They borrowed a lot from Halloween and the psychological aspect. We could do a whole side podcast about that. Not even a side podcast. We could probably do a mini series about it. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to talk about the other movies. What are your other sure things? I think they're pretty obvious, but maybe yours are different. Independence Day.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally did the whole speech.
I did the whole speech.
Even though you fucked it up, that was really well done.
Yep. Farting for our independence.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool to fart.
Farting for our right to live is what the line was.
You gotta fart for your right to fart.
For the rart. Yeah. You gotta fart for the rart.
Fart for the rart.
So I think Groundhog Day is a sure thing too.
Yeah.
I honestly, when I thought of this topic, I completely forgot about Groundhog Day.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I'm right there with you with Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I didn't even think of it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's one of those things like you almost don't. Your brain you think about it often enough that your brain kind of separates the two.
Yeah.
It's like Halloween as a movie is like its own kind of concept. You don't even think about it as a word anymore.
I thought of Thanksgiving just because.
Yeah.
It's like the most recent one I watched.
Mm-hmm.
And
have you rewatched that since we saw it the first time?
Yeah, I watched it one other time here.
That one messed me up a little bit. I think I might have. Did I talk about this before?
No.
There are certain scenes in horror movies that will just like they imprint themselves on my brain, and I know I see it all the time. Like there's one big one, and I would just see it when I close my eyes, and it's rough, but yeah, I haven't watched it since. It probably would do me good to watch it again.
Is it the diner lady?
Probably. No, actually, no.
Oh.
I mean that one was pretty rough too, but it was the like at the end the Thanksgiving dinner scene.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even gonna describe it because it's gross. But that one messed me up. That was the one that was burned into my eyes for like the backs of my eyelids. Every time I would try to go to sleep, I was thinking that image in my head, and that's not a good one to be going to sleep to.
Honestly, the one that kind of messed me up was in the very like the cold open, basically.
Yeah.
During the Black Friday melee.
Oh yeah.
When the lady got scalped. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that was rough too. I knew we were in for some trouble when that's your first scene. Ugh, that's a rough one. That reminded me of another scene that bugged the crap out of me for years. I think it was was that Piranha, like Piranha 3D or something?
I've never seen it.
You never watched that one?
No, it sounded too corny for me.
I mean, it was dumb. The whole thing was stupid, but it was early on in the 3D craze. Remember 3D TVs? Remember when that was a thing?
Yeah.
My girlfriend at the time, like her dad had just gotten a 3D TV, so I watched it at their house. And it's just like boobs in the ocean, like bobbling around.
Bobbling around.
We got to make use of the 3D technology, right?
Jackass 3D sure did.
Yeah. From the get-go, the whole opening montage.
Man, oh man. Wieners.
Just fly it right at you. Yeah, and that one, there's a scene where it's like when the first attack of the piranhas when they come out and they're like attacking a beach full of like college kids or whatever. Yeah. And there's like a boat there, like a little motorboat, and there's a girl in the water and her hair gets caught in the propeller, and you know what happens. Yeah. But no, they show the whole thing, and yikes, that was upsetting. Hair stuff bothers me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about.
And they know that. They know that fucks that
like
bothers
in Fear Street, the bread slicer scene in Fear Street. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, like the head stuff. It just seems so vulnerable. And, yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, back to the task at hand here. Groundhog Day, I mentioned. That was the last nominee we mentioned. Do you agree it's a sure thing?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Any other sure things you want to put in there? I think the only two that are even close to being a sure thing would be the Halloween reboot 2018 and the Thanksgiving movie I was talking about. Because that was like a pretty well made. It was a pretty well made movie for like kind of a dumb slasher comedy almost. A horror comedy almost.
I like that it was like a different. It wasn't like based around Halloween or anything like that. Or it was Thanksgiving. That's crazy to me. I mean,
that's.
I've been begging for more Thanksgiving movies. You know me.
Yeah.
I've been begging for more any kind of Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
And we got it finally. And I love horror. And what a perfect mix.
Yeah. A little peek behind the curtain here for the listeners. One of the topic ideas we've had that we've been sitting on for a while is Thanksgiving movies, because that's another one where I feel like the field would be pretty small.
Yeah.
Just because there whatever words, I don't know what that all was. Where there just aren't very many.
Right.
This movie might be on both of those lists. This may be our first time, once we do eventually do that one, probably Thanksgiving this year. We'll see. That might be the first candidate to be inducted twice into the Alzheimer's Club.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll put those as maybes for now.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're quite sure things yet, but they're definitely in the maybe lean and yes pile.
Yeah.
So we just got to debate the rest of them and see what else might knock them out. We got that Decoration Day movie, which you had never heard of. It's a TV movie. I don't know. It did win 2 Golden Globes, but it won Golden Globes for Best Miniseries or Television Movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really fighting with the big dogs up there. And also they were Golden Globes. And does anyone really care about the Golden Globes?
I know you don't. You told me that when we did the one actor's named William.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Golden Globes. They don't really matter.
Do any of the words even matter, really? Like, come on.
I mean, if you care about movies,
okay, but I don't need an award to tell me who a good actor is. I guess like I know Tom Cruise is gonna fucking kill it. You know what I mean? I know
he's been in some stinkers.
I mean, they're all in stinkers. Everybody has a stinker, but like, I have been in a total craving to watch Top Gun again.
You were a late convert to the Top Gun fandom.
I was a very late bloomer to Top Gun, and I don't know why. Man.
Yeah, it was like you didn't want to watch Top Gun Maverick when it came out because you had never seen the original.
Right.
You waited like a year after that one came out, and then you finally watched them both, right?
Yeah, because like
double feature.
It looked really good, but I was like, I can't watch it unless I watch Top Gun.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah, so, and then I just never got to it, and then
I went with Mom.
You went with our mother, yeah, and
why are you going? You're going all formal with our relatives. You kept saying grandfather earlier. I don't think you ever said grandpa or anything. It was just our grandfather, our grandfather, our grandfather. It's like you act like we're like British royalty or something.
All right,
grandpapa.
Well, R.I.P. Pawpaw. And
our mother.
And you went to the movie with our mommy. I don't know. What do you want me to do?
Mom. That's what people say. That's what you call her. You ever call her mother unironically?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I went with Mom to the movie. Yeah, we had a little mother-son date at Top Gun. And I did knock my freaking socks off. That movie was awesome.
Man, I wish I would have seen it in theaters, man.
Oh, my God. I'm not usually a guy that's like, you got to see this in the theaters. Got to see this on a 60-foot screen. But holy shit, like in like the big fucking speakers with the surround sound with it's a perfect one because the planes are flying over. You feel like you're in the damn cockpit. And I know that's like hyperbole or whatever, but that's... Like literally, you like feel like you're right in there with it. And
I really
like,
hope
you get the goosebumps and everything.
I really hope they do like a 10-year anniversary or something, or like a 40-year, I don't know, whatever anniversary of original Top Gun. And
I think isn't this year? Wasn't it 85 or was it 84? It might have been last year.
Maybe, I don't know.
I can't remember.
But if they ever put it in theater, I'll be first in line. So I really wish I would have been able to experience that in theaters.
It'd be cool to see the original in theaters again.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like the sound design, and
especially like remastered or whatever.
Yeah, and the sound design on the new one and the way they filmed everything, because they like literally had cameras in the actual cockpit and everything, and it's wild. It was a really, I mean, it's not. I don't think it was like, some like crazy, fantastic movie. It's a lot of nostalgia, but it was like kick-ass nostalgia. It's like the type of movie you come out like you want to run a mile.
When you see Val Kilmer in it, he doesn't say literally a damn thing, and he fucking kills it in that scene.
Yeah. Oh my god, that scene
Chills.
is fantastic.
Chills.
Yeah. Now I gotta go watch that again.
I know. You're welcome.
I'm about to go home, and it's gonna be like 11 o'clock. I'm like, oh, let's fire up Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, you're gonna
I guess today's an after midnight night.
Yeah, you're gonna dive into the danger zone when you get home.
Okay, yeah, so the 40th anniversary would be next year. It was 1986. And we got Chompity over there on the bones.
Well, I gave it to her thinking she would run to the bedroom, but she didn't. Sit. You gotta take it in there, babe.
It's just a little ambiance. It's okay.
You gotta take it in there, babe.
Anyway, I'm going to watch Top Gun Maverick tonight. And the other thing that I know is that we have to figure out what's left on this list. We pretty much have 5 right there. We could probably stop, but let's not. Let's continue. The other ones we got April Fool's Day. Any thoughts on that one?
It looks
I don't remember.
really, really corny, really bad. But it also like you're mixing Clue and Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. That's funny.
Another one I would say is Mother's Day. I don't know. It's up my alley.
Yeah.
With like horror movies.
What's the premise?
Basically, 2 brothers kidnap.
2 brothers.
Yeah.
It's just called 2 brothers.
2 brothers kidnap like 3 people or whatever, and like torture them. But it's for their. I know that makes me sound like such an asshole.
It's right up my alley. 2 brothers torturing people. Done. Print it. Let's go.
I promise I'm one of the nicest people on the planet. But
fire that one up. Let's go. Is it streaming? Netflix, you running that one? Let's go.
So these 2 brothers kidnap the 3 people or whatever and torture them to please their mother.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know. You ever see the
Goonies? That's what I thought of.
That's true. That one too. You ever see the I don't remember which one. I think it's just called Leatherface.
Yeah, it's like the origin story of Leatherface.
Yeah, so kind of seems like off-brand Leatherface.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like he's not like.
Yeah, they're just regular dudes.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I thought we had a good candidate in Labor Day until I looked it up, and apparently it's bad.
Yeah,
it's not very good. I was like, how could it be that bad with Josh Brolin and
Kate Winslet?
Kate Winslet, yeah, I keep forgetting her name. Yeah, with those 2 actors, like how could it possibly be that bad? But apparently, it's just like not written very well. It's very melodramatic and saccharine and all those other words, all those other $1 million words I remember from high school vocabulary class.
Father's Day.
That one I almost threw in there just because I was like, how could this not be good?
I kind of regret not having it on as a nominee, but I guess it's like really, 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 really bad.
Yeah, I saw. It's one of those things. Like I gotta believe it's got to be at least somewhat. There's got to be some redeeming qualities with Billy Crystal, Robin Williams, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and that was like, actually no, I'd say her prime was probably like Veep.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have put this on my list, but
yeah, I want to watch it just to see quite how bad it is.
I mean, maybe we could do that for a movie Monday.
Maybe, yeah, it'd probably be a good one. A lot to talk about there. Honestly, I'm good with just kind of like sneaking it in there as a quiet nominee. I don't think it's gonna make our top 5.
No.
But I think it's probably a sleeper.
We
nominee.
could sneak it in instead of Labor Day. I don't know. Why I
that
put
one,
Labor Day in there.
That's another one. Like I feel like it's one of those. It feels like it should be good, but it isn't. It looks like an Oscar bait movie that just was not good.
Right.
Anyway, you got anything else you want to throw in, or are we good with the 5 we got? our sure things. We got Independence Day, obviously, Halloween, and Groundhog Day. Do we want to talk about, briefly, do we want to talk about the 2018 Halloween?
Yeah.
As compared to maybe Thanksgiving? Because they were kind of in the same era of like kind of the slasher rebound, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of a mini little. I'd say with the 2018 Halloween, but the only thing because I love that movie too. I think it was great. I think it was a great sequel, great reboot. It's kind of tarnished by the 2 sequels.
Yeah.
Because those are terrible. Small part of me wishes they just never existed.
Yeah.
I just almost wish the first one was just it, and that was it. And then Michael was just burned in the house. Or is he? I don't know. But we never really find out what happens. He doesn't crawl out of there and
I think what's
and
most
kill like 75 firefighters.
I think what's most upsetting about it is like if they just tweak 1 or 2 things in the second one,
Yeah.
it makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Just 1 or 2 things, minor tweaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about this a while ago. We've talked about this a whole bunch, actually. But one of our ideas that I really liked that we kind of brainstormed together is I almost wish they would have kind of cut most of 2 and then taken a lot of the stuff they did in 3 and put that into 2. So, like, he kind of comes out of it, kills all the firefighters. We get that great opening scene with the, like, Street Fighter style Michael fighting the firefighters one-on-one. And then we jump to like 5 years later.
Yeah.
And Michael's in hiding because he just got burned for however long he was down there. And then we get the third, the Halloween Halloween ends, I guess, where we get introduced to new characters and stuff, and we get kind of like almost like a reboot of a story almost.
Yeah.
And there's like a new group of kids that all get killed. And then they could kind of expand some of those things. That was another thing about Halloween Ends that I didn't like. It seemed like it was a 3-hour movie that they condensed into 2 or however long it was. But instead of cutting scenes, they like cut the first minute and a half of each scene and the last 2 minutes of every scene, and then they sandwiched all that together. So you were just like quickly cutting to everything, and like suddenly we're down the street, and now we're over these people, and now we're like halfway through a conversation. It's like, what is happening?
Here's the thing about Halloween Ends. I get irrationally angry about the like friend group.
Oh, they're terrible.
Because 1, they're the popular group or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
2, I'm all for diversity. Don't get me wrong. But in no fucking world is a big popular friend group going to consist of a football jock, a band nerd, a goth or an emo chick.
Yep.
And
I don't even remember what the other guy
I don't know what the other, but like you don't see those they don't mix.
Yeah, it's like they walked into a high school cafeteria and pointed to like one random person in each corner of the room and said, "You're my group, you're my friend group. You're gonna be the popular kids." Like the one was like a stoner kid or something, wasn't it? It was like a stoner burnout kid, a jock, a band geek, and like. What was it, like a goth girl or something like that? It's like, what the hell?
And the band geek's just like wearing his band uniform half the movie. It's like, why are you wearing that everywhere? Don't you?
That's what I don't. That was another thing. I'm like,
don't you keep that at the school? You were in band. You were in band time. Don't you keep that at the fucking school?
Yeah, it stays at the school unless there's a game, and then you're wearing it on the bus, and that's it.
Like, why would you even want to wear that anywhere else?
Yeah, just wearing it like street clothes. This is what I wear every day. I'm in band. Can't you tell? I'm in my uniform. It's like, what? Do football players just walk around with their pads on? And she was like carrying a flute too.
I know.
Put the flute away.
Right.
It's a Saturday. What are we doing?
It's a Saturday.
Just walking around with a loose flute.
Go play Call of Duty, dude. I don't know what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. It's like, obviously these guys have been to a high school, right? Like they went to school where all of the creators of this movie homeschooled. They don't know what high school is.
It's like if the Harry Potter people made a horror movie.
Yeah.
Or like
it's like a kid's book. Like if you had like a kid's storybook, like, oh, this is what kids look like, right? And you just have like one of every kid, one of every type. all sandwiched together because it's a children's book and it doesn't have to be real.
Yeah.
You don't want to teach kids about cliques when they're 7.
Right.
It's like, here's one of every type of kid, and they're all friends. Look at that. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's not reality. Like, they might be friends, but they're not like, that's not going to be the group that's just hanging out in the douchebag's convertible or whatever.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, diversity, wish there was more of it, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
in a movie like that, you're going to have certain friend groups and certain groups of groups of people.
And there's like some variety. I mean, it's a fairly diverse group. I mean, not racially or sexual or gender wise in the original movie because it's just 3 girls, or 3 white girls, but they have like different interests at least. You have like the kind of nerdy one, and then the kind of like flirty one, and then you have the dumb cheerleader.
Yeah,
but like they're all like still like close enough. They're not like completely like polar opposite groups. Like this just like I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, if you turn this into a Halloween bitch fest, as we always do about these movies.
Of course. But anyway, so that's the only kind of drawback to the Halloween 2018. But I think that one alone is good enough to make it in.
I mean, I could argue I don't think you should judge that movie based off its sequels.
Yeah, I was grasping at straws because I like that movie so much.
Because you could make a case for the other ones, but there's a reason they're not heard of. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it really is funny. That,
and I don't know.
There's 5, and then there's everything else is garbage. You'd like movies you never heard of,
and I don't know if
or movies you might remember, but they're like so bad that you never think about them.
And I don't know if Thanksgiving suffers from like recency bias.
Yeah,
but I also thought it was really good, and I know I'm biased towards horror movies, but
I mean it scored really well. I think it was a pretty well liked movie. I wrote the Rotten Tomatoes down for that one too. Yeah, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes for a slasher movie, for a slasher comedy too. Those never get good scores.
I think really the only debate you could have would be with 07 Halloween and Thanksgiving. But I just think,
and the argument is just like you said, the recency thing. Like it hasn't had enough time to really set in and be legendary enough. Like, are we going to be talking about that movie in 20 years?
Sure,
kind of thing.
And I really like the 07 one, man. Halloween 2 sucks, but the 07 one's good. And that's almost one of those movies like you got to kind of be a fan of it. Yeah.
For it to, like, I don't know that it has broad appeal.
They just rely too much on the gore.
Yeah.
That's not what Halloween was about.
Yeah, I mean, really, the original, there's literally no blood.
Right. And I'm okay with the violence in the 2018 one, but it's like...
Yeah.
It kind of mixes...
They do it strategically, too.
Yeah,
and there's some stuff that they don't show intentionally.
And it kind of mixes, blends both of them together.
Yeah. It kind of benefits from being a remake.
Yeah.
So we talk about that because it's a Halloween movie, not because of its own merits. Yeah. So
I think if it wasn't Halloween, if it was like a similar movie but not called Halloween, it would just be like, oh, it's just another Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah. If it was like Matthew Myers instead of Michael Myers.
It's just Michael's accountant brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
that'd be the only argument I make for Halloween 07, but I still think Thanksgiving takes it over them, and I don't really think it's really close. I think this is probably the easiest top 5 we've done.
Yeah, we really had to like scratch for some filler here to talk about. Let's run through it. Halloween, no doubter, obviously. Groundhog Day, Independence Day, Halloween reboot 2018, and Thanksgiving. That's our list. That's it. Here we go. Rolling out. Roll the music. Hit the button. Hit it. Hit the
kaboom.
All right, that's the show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we love finding any excuse to talk about Halloween. And you can pay that love forward by sharing this podcast with all your friends and family and holiday fans. Is that a thing? I don't think people are really fans of all of the holidays, but you get what I mean.
You'd probably be surprised.
Yeah, that's true. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts, so don't forget to subscribe. That's what the word is. Subscribe on your platform of choice so you never miss a new episode. You can give us a rating, leave us a review. That really helps us out there. You can like us on Facebook, follow us at CCWisePod on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Twitter. You can follow me on just about everything at Tyler_W. Where can everybody find you out there?
I should say we are now on Apple Pods.
Oh, yes, I forgot to say that. Yes,
We are,
Apple
We
Podcasts.
are finally on Apple Podcasts, so check us out there if you want. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitter at BWise23. I'm on Instagram at NotTheFakeBW, and I am on TikTok at NotTheFakeBrandonWise. So go ahead and join us in a couple weeks. We'll have a new episode of Counterclockwise for you.
And stay brolden.
You did the entire speech.
Yes, I did. And I only fucked it up once where I said we're farting for our right to live.